Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Zebu Nation Plays the FM Scout Academy Challenge with FC Dallas. And here we are in Season 10. Can you believe it? We've played all these years, all these seasons. And is this our last season? That is a question we need to ask ourselves. FM18 is just around the corner. We've assembled what should be a very good team, a team that's capable of winning the Champions League and finishing out this competition the way it's supposed to be, the way, with all of the competitions, all of the victories that we need. And the Champions League is our final hurdle. So hopefully we've assembled the team that can do that and finish out this series. But, before we get to that, that's a little bit of ahead of ourselves. Let's take a look at where we're at currently for the Season 10 Preseason Spectacular, and we'll start with the schedule. As we've done the last few years, we've been going on tours of Mexico and South America, and this year we did both. We split our schedule up into two different halves. So the first half we went down to Mexico, played several second division teams down there, had a very good run of form, including our final victory there, a 4-1 triumph, really, over Ticos. Very good game we played. It was outstanding top to bottom. Then we went up to Montreal, beat them 5-1. Another excellent performance for us there. Came back home to play Atletico Nacional, beat them 6-1 in what was really our most dominant performance of the preseason. Then we took on the second half of our schedule, which was a trip to South America, where we played several different South American teams. Beat Santa Fe, beat Medellin 3-1, very good victory there. And then we had our one slip-up of the preseason, which was a 2-0 defeat to Juana Reach. And, that's okay. You don't like to see your teams lose, but we played an extremely rotated side. We played players who weren't even in our top 22, players who were just on the periphery, just trying to get them some match fitness before we sent them out on loan, essentially. So it's no big deal that we lost that. I don't like that we lost it going into the Champions League, but it's okay. Worse things could have happened there, and we did that to make sure that everybody this year would be fit and ready for our Champions League quarterfinal versus Tigres. Now, I got a little excited and played all of our preseason games. Normally, I like to keep the preseason and the Champions League separate, but this season I got a little excited and played all my preseason games. So, in this video, we're going to show the first leg of the Tigres matchup, and then we'll do our full Champions League deal in the second game, or in the second video, just to keep the rhythm going that we have established the last couple of seasons. So, with that in mind, let's start down the preseason checklist here. Finances, decent but dropping. Last season, we lost $3 million. All of the salary that we're paying to our coaches and to our players is starting to catch up with us. Our low attendance numbers probably have something to do with that as well. So we lost $3 million this season, but we're still very healthy financially, $47 million. We made $5 million this season, and hopefully we can maybe even things out a little bit. But for now, we're going to have to continue to take the salary hit because we have such a bloated roster, a roster of full of veterans. We got to pay all these guys to keep them here, so it's going to be like this probably for at least the first half of this season. We've got some plans to maybe start dumping some older players after this Champions League run, but that'll be for later. For now, we still made $5 million, so we're looking good financially. The board... job security, of course, we're still untouchable at 77%. That's very good. And, despite our financial issues, I decided to talk the board into giving us better training facilities. Our training facilities dropped in comparison to our competition. So I decided to, convince the board that, hey, we got to make sure our training facilities stay up with the Joneses, as they say, not the Jerry Joneses, but just the generic Joneses. Anyway, all that aside, we're improving our training facilities. It's going to cost us a couple of $1,000,000, which we probably can't spare. But honestly, we can spare it because we have so much in the bank. So it's not the most fiscally responsible thing to do, but it's not the worst thing to do in the world either, to spend a little. We're not going to upgrade our stadium at all just because nobody comes out to our stadium. I don't know if that's a self-fulfilling prophecy or not. Maybe if we built a better stadium, we'd get better fans. I don't know. But for now, we're stuck with what we're stuck with, and, we'll do what we can. All right, so then we'll go on to the club here, club stature. Look at that. We've gained a half star. We are now 3.5-star reputation. That's what I've been trying to do for like 10 years now, just to get off of that 3-star monotony. So that's an outstanding achievement. We are the #1 team in the USA over Los Angeles. Montreal has snuck up there to 3rd place, so that's pretty good. Show filters, all divisions. How about that? So there we are, top of the league, 3.5 stars. We've separated ourselves now from the rest of the league. We are now a half star above everyone else in the league. So that makes me very, very happy. Very happy to finally have achieved that goal. All right, it's a minor goal, but still a goal nonetheless. Anything else? No, nothing else has really changed. As I mentioned, our facilities. We still have superb training facilities, but it's not like elite training facilities, I guess. I don't know. We have great youth facilities. I'd like to improve those, but our team never wants to improve those either. So the one thing I've done is I've changed our director of youth development. The previous guy just wasn't bringing in the youth candidates, and I gave him one last shot. Go up here to our youth academy, and he didn't really bring in anybody special. Nobody who's going to do it for us. Our top prospect is still Jordan Steffens, a right winger that we're never going to get any use out of. So that's two generations in a row now. Our top prospect has been a right advanced midfielder who we can't use. So I'm going to get rid of that guy, bring in some new blood, some fresh blood, and hopefully that will help us out. So speaking of new players, we'll head on to our transfers here, take a look. It was a pretty uneventful offseason. Look at our transfer history. As you can see, we have no incoming players, just a few outgoing players. We really only dropped one player. Josh Nahas was waived, a 24-year-old central defender, or central midfielder, defensive midfielder. Let's combine those two, central defender and central midfielder. Combine them, you get a defensive midfielder. Anyway, he was not going to do it for us. He's okay, but just not worth keeping around, honestly. So we let him go, let his contract run out. Is fine. Actually, we waived him just before the waiver draft just to get him off the books. And then we sent several players out on loan. Now, this is something you haven't seen in a long, long time, which is no super draft players. Now, we did draft 2 players, but neither one of them wanted to sign with us, and we don't particularly need either one of them on the roster at the moment. So I'm going to let them sort of wallow out in the world. I don't think they've signed anywhere as of yet. They can't sign with another MLS team because we own their rights via the draft. So they're just going to sit out there until the point where we need them. Take a look at our trades, and you can see the reason we had no draft picks, or not as many as we usually have. If we traded them all away for some cash and future considerations. Obviously we can't use the general allocation funds because of the $2 billion bug that we're facing, but we can use the targeted allocation money. So I've been letting my director of football operations re-sign some of our more expensive players so that he can use that targeted allocation money to buy down their contracts rather than using the general allocation money. So that's been working out in our favor. We got about $500,000 of that kind of money in the bank, so we're going to be able to re-sign at least our top players and not crush us with the salary, with the weight of their salary cap. All right, so I guess that's just about everything. Take a look at what draft allocations we have coming up. So next year is a pretty dull affair, honestly. We have our regular draft picks and then Philadelphia's 4th round pick. I mean, I'm sure we'll still be able to wheel and deal and manipulate the draft a little bit, but not as much as we have in the previous years. So it's going to be interesting to see what we can do with all of these draft picks. And we're kind of starting over. It's kind of a new era after this 10th season. We'll be going back to kind of how things were. We're going to be letting go of some of our veterans, and some interesting stuff's going to happen. That is, if we don't win the Champions League this year, it's going to be kind of a rebuilding process. So, with that in mind, let us go to the game that we're playing. We are playing against TIGRES, as I mentioned. Take a look at their team selection. And, of course, they've got excellent players. We're not looking at them at the moment. Let's see if we can get a better look at TIGRES. So here they are, of course. They're an outstanding team. Look at all the championships. They've got 7 Mexican First Division championships, 6 Mexican Cup championships, 2 North American Champions League trophies. So they are an outstanding team. They are formerly our affiliated team. We're no longer affiliated with them. But as you can see, an excellent team. Maybe a little bit down. This might be a little bit of a rebuilding year for them. It's, they still have some outstanding players. But it's not an overwhelming team. They got lots of 3.5-star players. So a lot of players who are pretty much on par with our players. They just have a few superstars who are better than our players are ever going to be. So if we could keep those people in check and just play a good smart game, hopefully we can win. So we're playing at home in this first leg. And here's our team selection. This is a team we've been going with for the whole preseason and most of last season, honestly. At least at the end of last season. This is the team that really dominated the MLS. So we're going with Sanchez in goal, of course. He's gained a half star. He's up to 3.5 stars now. So that's very good development on his part. Cole and Hernandez at fullback. Now, Hernandez is our lowest starred player, only 2 stars. This is only his 2nd year in the league, but he's got so many positive attributes to him, including a player who thrives in big games. So it's not something we've had on our team before, is a player who can make that kind of impact. He's got a lot of flair, good physicals, all that kind of stuff. He's got everything we need. So the fact that he's a 2-star rating, I'm not too hung up on that. Then, of course, our central defense, one of the best central defenses in the MLS, if not the best central defense. We have Ruthven and Valenzuela back there. Coming off the bench even, we've got Johnson and Zimmerman, so our central defense is no problem there. Van de Castile, the veteran at defensive midfielder. We've moved Zamora down to the central midfielder, paired him with McCrecky. That gives us, an all-league type central midfield. And then Ross Gonzalez, he's a U.S. national team player, so he's an outstanding talent as well. And then, of course, the strikers, Alcantara, Washington, 2 of the best strikers in all of North America. We've got them on the same team. On the bench, got Kevin Lure, backup goalkeeper. Hasn't played much, but hopefully we won't need him. We've got Acosta coming off the bench now. Very versatile veteran. Play lots of different positions, so that's why he's on the bench. And then I mentioned before, Alex Johnson, player who could start for a lot of teams out there. Abdul Ghani, Rodolfo Guevara in the midfield, Patrick Guldan, another midfielder, and Ben Manning, a guy who could start for plenty of teams, not just in MLS, but plenty of teams around the world. This guy could be a starter, but for us, we got him coming off the bench as a super sub. So this is a stacked team, a team with talent top to bottom. We should be able to compete with TIGRES. If we don't, it's going to be definitely a disappointment. So here we are. Let's submit that team and let's get rolling here. A little nervous going into this match. There's a lot riding on this home game. We need points here. We need to go up. We need to, a nice 2-0 victory would be ideal. I think obviously anything more than that is just wishing on a star, but I think 2-0 victory would be outstanding. That would put us in prime position to move on to, and actually get out of this, beat a team that we need to be beating. But anything other than that, a 1-1 draw is acceptable as well. 2-2 draw, I suppose. Anything we can do to just get points on the board would be outstanding. So here's, of course, we're going with the diamond formation. No upsets there. And they are going with the formation I hate the most, which is the Mexican national formation, the 4-2-3-1 with 2 defensive midfielders. I don't know what it is about this formation, but it just gives me fits and headaches. So we'll go to our opponent instructions. We'll just apply our advice there. It looks like Aguirre might be going forwards here, so we'll close down on him for sure. Okay, so then we'll continue to our pep talk. Give the boys a nice pep talk here. Go out there and give the fans their money's worth. How about that? Okay, that motivated a couple of guys. Instructions, we're going to go with our normal instructions. I've been hemming and hawing, saying, should we do the counterattack? I don't think so. I think we need to go with what we can do, and we need to attack these guys, put pressure on them, show them that we're here to play with the big boys. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do our high-pressure control system and see if we can show some quality here. So here we are, first game at Toyota Stadium. The first leg, I should say, is at Toyota Stadium. Packed crowd. We're going to have about 8,200 season ticket holders this season. So the franchise is growing. It's just maybe not growing at the pace that I would expect. Here's Cole with an opportunity out wide. Can he get past his man? No, he gets tackled by Ortiz. That's a bad sign. Prefer to see Cole get around a guy like that, maybe make a play to start off with. Here we go. Looks like we're frustrating them. They get a yellow card off the bat. Here's a highlight. Zamora gets it up to Washington. He is on sides. He's got the defense beat. He can't beat the goalkeeper, though. But that's a good sign. That's definitely what we want to see. Getting those two strikers loose. Let's see if we can get another steal and counterattack. They're going to try to send one forward. Ruthven wins it. Gonzalez, that should have been a penalty, but I guess not. There's a Aguirre streaking down the sideline. Let's stick with him. Let's not let him get loose there. He's got the ball in crossing position. Nice closeout, nice closeout. This does look to be a highlight for them. There's Aguirre sending it forward. No good. Get the steal, boys. Come on, don't let him. That was luck, honestly. That was just the lucky bounce of the ball. So here's a risky tackle in the box, but it goes straight to the... I don't even know how it went that direction, honestly. Should have went back to our goalkeeper, but that was just luck. So let's see what we can do with it. Here's a free kick on their part. Looks like they might be getting another highlight here. I'm not excited about this. Let's get the steal. There's the steal. Zamora sends it downfield to Washington. He can't keep control of it. Gear sends it forward to De Silva. He's going to get tackled. Nice tackle. Oh, Gonzalez, you gotta win those. That's 2 of those he's lost. Our central midfield is not looking very promising at the moment. They're winning all the 50-50 balls. Let's get that steal. Come on. They should not be allowed to make that cross. Ugh. So frustrating. So frustrating. Assertive. Show some passion. You guys, you. So 2-0 victory for them is not what I wanted. But we had so many chances to win the ball here. And they just, I mean, that should have been a steal right there. And they get the easy cross. Goalkeeper didn't come out and get the ball. It's just a lot wrong with that. So we're down 2 goals 15 minutes in. And now they're going to probably shut things down on us. Midfield is being outnumbered. Yeah, that's fine. Missed the tackle there out wide. There's Washington winning the ball, sending it forward to Alcantara. Alcantara on the run. Yes. Listen to the crowd roar as we get one back. Alcantara with the goal. You know, again, Washington and Alcantara are top quality strikers. They can play with anybody in the world. And there we are with the goal. Just got to get the ball to those guys. I'm a little bit upset at our midfielder, especially Gonzalez right now, not playing particularly well. Now they might be shutting it down on us. No, here's a corner kick. That was tricky. That was risky there. (42, 43, 44 minutes down. So it looks like we're going to go into the second half down 2-1. Alright, so we're going to be calm, but we're going to say, show me something else in the second half. We're going to do something we haven't done. We're going to get stuck in here. We're going to try to attack these guys and win the ball. And send it downfield. You know, that might cause some issues. It might let them get around us a little too much. But you know, at this point, we got to get these goals back. They've already got 2 away goals on us. I know that they're very good at shutting things down at home, where they could just grind us out to a 0-0 draw at home. So we got to at least even the aggregate score up. At the very least. Alright, here we go. Here's a highlight. Looks like they're playing some pressure game too. There's Gonzalez on the run. Let's see if he can make a play. Gets around his man. McCrecky playing it back to Van de Castile. Zamora gets it out wide to Cole. Can he get the cross? To no one in particular, unfortunately. There's the steal by Cole. Very nice aggressive play there. Zamora makes the play. Washington can't win it. And Tigres is on the counterattack. Gonzalez with the dangerous cross, but Sanchez is there to make the save. Very good play, very good play. Zamora suffered a strained wrist. That's fine. Get out of there. There's a free kick for them. Ruthven heads it on. All right, we should be able to play this forward. There's Alcantara. Gets dispossessed a little bit, but then he gets it up to Cole. Can Cole send it forward to Washington? Washington on the run. He's got the defense beat down the field.
Yes.
Washington evens the score, 2-2. That's what we need to see. Crowd goes wild. See, we can play with these guys if we just don't kowtow to them. And there's the nice strike. Because we can do this. We can catch them. We have the strikers to compete, and there's no question. It's just a matter of everywhere else on the field, particularly the midfield. All right, Tigres might be shutting it down a little bit. We're just flying through to the 80th minute here. Yellow card for Hernandez. So let's look to make some substitutions here. Let's bring in Acosta for Hernandez. Even though he's looking motivated, we're going to bring in Acosta just, because of that yellow card. Then, Gonzalez didn't quite play as well as I would have hoped. He's a little nervous, so we're going to move Zamora up here, and we're going to bring in Guevara or Guldan. We'll bring in Guevara. Bring him in at the box-to-box midfielder. Yeah, I think that's a good substitution. He's got some abilities. He's got some offensive as well as defensive capabilities, so he's a good player to bring in there. And, maybe get some play out of that midfield. So that leaves Cole a little bit high and dry there at only 64%, but he's one of our higher rated players right now, so even if he's tired, we got to leave him in there. And here we go, 88th minute. Looks like Tigres is going to be satisfied with the 2-2 draw. Here we are. We got 1 minute left. Here's a final highlight. Zamora plays it forward to Alcantara. Can we get the third goal? Can we get the winner? Alcantara, no, he can't center it. Unfortunately, that would have been an outstanding last-second goal. There's Guevara, our substitute, sends it forward to Washington, who heads it on. Goalkeeper handles it easily. Killer, is that his name? Killer? That's a pretty cool name, but I don't think that's quite his name. I just can't read it. Keeler, maybe. There's Ruthven winning the header up to Washington. 15 seconds left. There's Zamora, gets tackled. Cole, can Cole center it? Alcantara's open, but no, he cannot. 5 seconds remaining in stoppage time. They're on the final counterattack of the game. There's full time. So we salvaged a 2-2 draw. Very nice comeback to get that draw. There's no doubt about that. It's not the ideal outcome, but it's not an outcome that we can't overcome. All we need to do is beat them in the next game, and we win, right? We just need 1-0, 2-1, doesn't matter. Any victory in the next game, and we survive and move on to the next round. So there we go. You've done brilliantly to come back and salvage the draw. Nobody particularly cared to hear that noise. All right, so let's go to the post-match analysis. Valenzuela was a key player, but only had a 6.9 rating. Gonzalez, yeah, I can see that, was the man of the match for Tigres. Had the 2 goals, no assists, 8.8 rating. Excellent play on his part. Take a look at the stats. How did we go? How did we do, rather? We rated okay. Cole had a very good game. Obviously, Alcantara and Washington had 2 very good games with an assist and 2 goals between them, so that's outstanding. Over 8 rating for both players. So we played pretty well. I'm happy with that. The assist from Cole as well. So we played well. On their side of the pitch, their fullback didn't play too well. They've got a lot of low ratings going on right now. So we outplayed them. They got those 2 goals from Gonzalez, who's an outstanding player. 27-year-old striker worth $8 million. So he's a pretty good player. Got one lucky goal, and that was kind of the difference there. You can take a look at the analysis. Distance run, of course, 9.7 miles for Cole. Some decent numbers of interceptions and passes. Passing completion was very good. We got tackled and dispossessed a little bit too much, but that's going to happen against Mexican teams because they're so quick and they're so skillful. There's just not a lot you can do about that. So there we go. First leg in the books, 2-2 draw. So we'll come back for the second leg and the Champions League review or preview or whatever we're going to do in our next video. So anyway, until then, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.